Shalom. I want to start this off by giving honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Wahweh Kakwadash. Peace and salutations to the elect men of Israel, starting with the elder apostles and bishops on down, to the rest of you brothers and the brothers that I labor with, who all push forth the will and doctrine of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, in all faith, truth, and sincerity, according to the true understanding of the scriptures. So all of you, I say Shalom. So this is just gonna be a quick lesson, if you will, and it was just something I was just sitting and meditating on, which is this Ephesians 5 and the 10th verse, where it says, prove what is acceptable unto the Lord, right? And this was a passage that I had brought out previously on our highways, and as you can see in verse 11, right, it says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them, right? And this account here is to basically keep in mind, like, us being children of light, right? Us being a light source, right? We got to make sure that we're not letting anything dim our lights, right? Because where light is, darkness can't abide, and it was something I had looked up to, that which I'm gonna pull up, that just further adds to the point. So we are to be continuing to be basically proving what's amongst ourselves, right? Whether it's something that is of darkness or is of light, right? And with you having the Lord's word, which is what you use to prove all things, right, is basically your light source, right? It's what keeps your light lit, and with it being lit, and you using the Lord's word, right, it allows you to utilize that light to get rid of any bit of darkness that may be trying to creep in or make its way to being present, right? Because you are to prove all things, which is basically having everything be lit, everything being established by the Lord's word, right? And the way you do that is, again, proving it. So I wanted to get that word, prove, right? Just to gain more understanding, not only for myself, but for those that are watching as well. So Lord willing, this be something that'll be edifying, right? So this is Ephesians 5, and I'm gonna read 10 again, and then we're gonna go into the word, but then I'm gonna jump up to 8 and read back on down. So it says, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, right? I'm gonna start at 9 and then read to 10. It says, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. You see? So we are to be looking to be spiritually minded, right? Looking to have our spirits ruling over our flesh, keeping ourselves in line with the Lord's word, with his standard, and what it is and how it is that we are to be living our lives, right? So let's get that word for prove, right? Or proving here. So the word here is what?
Strong's G 1381. Dakimadzo. Dakimadzo.
Dakimatsu, right? So it says to test, examine, prove, right? Scrutinize, to see whether a thing is genuine or not. It says to recognize as genuine after examination, to approve, to deem worthy, right? Let's see what else they got here. I'm going down to the Thayer's Greek lexicon, right? Right here for second definition. Again, to recognize as genuine after examination, to approve and deem worthy, right? So you are to be looking to see if something is genuine, right? Genuine being something that's been established, something that is made manifest by the Lord. You know, something that upholds His standard, right? Something that is able to glorify the Lord. You know, those are the things that you are to be looking to have within your presence, within your space, things around you. You know what I'm saying? Characteristics and traits, actions, behaviors, right? All those that align with the Lord and align with His objective, His purpose, right? Any of those things that help you to have it to where your purpose is His purpose ultimately, right? Because the Lord is in control of all things, but it's like how the scriptures say, when your ways delight in the Lord. Really, I'll just get it real quick. That's Psalms 37, I believe it is. Yeah. Let me see where I want to start at. Yeah, I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, Psalms 37:3, trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land. And verily thou shalt be fed. In the NLT it says, trust in the Lord and do good, then you will live safely in the land and prosper. You see, so that's a beautiful position to be in, especially knowing the times that we're in, right, and the times that are to come, right. Right now, we're in the midst of Jacob's trouble, and it's only going to get worse. So it's like now is the time more than ever to be looking for those things that are truly genuine in your Yahweh Bashim Shai, and holding on to those things, right? And seeing the things that aren't as well, right? And removing those things, you know? But with you putting your trust in these things that are of the Lord, you know? You're put in a position to where you're able to prosper. But it says, delight thyself also in the Lord, and He shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy ways unto the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. You see? So these are the things that you are able to get from the Lord when you're doing of those things that align with His purpose, right? That'll please Him ultimately, you know? I'm thinking of another scripture. What is that? Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. You see? So you looking to be that light, you're putting yourself in a position to have the opportunity of receiving this type of blessing, you know? Because this is a blessing to have your enemy be at peace with you, where nothing comes against you, right? Because you're aligning yourself with the Lord. You're taking on those things that's genuine, you know? So going back here to the Ephesians 5, what was it, 10? Yeah. Going back into that word here just to finish it up. Right. So, again, simply to recognize as genuine after examination, to approve and deem worthy, right? And only things that are going to be worthy are things that align with Yahweh Shemar Shai and their objective, the mission, you know? We looking to be saved. We looking to glorify our Father for the things that He has done and allowed us to receive and do, you know? So let me see, going back here. I'm going to start at 8. It says, Ephesians 5 and verse 8. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord, right? In Hamashiach. It says, walk as children of light. So now that we are in a position of light, when light is present, darkness can't be present, you know? And that was what I ended up looking up over here, right? The question I asked was, what does light do to darkness, right? So it says, and this is the AI overview in Google, light makes darkness disappear, you see? Because darkness is the absence of light. When a light source is turned on, it emits photons, which fill the space and eliminates the darkness. So to walk as that light, you are to be looking to get rid of things that are of darkness, things that are wicked, right? Things that are not right, you know? And that go for people, that go for things within your life, right? Bad habits, bad thoughts, you know? The things that take you away from the Lord versus the things that bring you closer to Him, you know? And the only way that you're going to know or determine what is by looking to examine something and see if it's genuine or not, you know? Looking to see and deem something whether it's worthy or not, you know? That's what that word proven goes into. So, again, verse 8, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. You see? And that also made me think of this verse right here, because this is another scripture that goes on to use that word prove, right? 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. And then it goes on to say, abstain from all appearance of evil, right? And that appearance of evil would be darkness, you know? when light is present, can't nothing dark be present, you know? Because that light eliminates the darkness, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here. That way we could look at that word in there too. So, and that's the spirit too. It says in the NOT, 1 Thessalonians 5:21, but test everything that is said. Hold on to what is good. Stay away from every kind of evil. You see? And again, that word is the same thing, right?
Strong's G 1381. Dokimazo.
Dokimato, you know? So it's that same word there. So it's saying to prove those things, right? And as I said before, to recognize as genuine after examination. So you taking the time to examine something, to prove it, to test it, right? By dealing with it, you know, seeing if this aligns with the Lord's word, right? Is it something that the Lord approves of? Is it something that is going to help me to stay focused on the Lord? Is this a distraction, you know? Does this thing help me to stay and keep the Lord in mind with all the things that I'm doing? Does this help me to stay on the right path to receiving that salvation, you know? It's like looking to ask yourself the right question to be able to receive the right answer, you know? Execute it to where you're able to obtain the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And then with you doing that, it just keeps you back in that position, keeps you in place, keeps you from ultimately death, you know, wickedness and evil, but it puts you in position to be one step closer to receiving that salvation, you know. You staying away from all those appearances of evil, it now is putting you in a position to where you're delighting the Lord, right? And with you now rewiring your mind when you do this, right? When you rewire your mind to where now you take pleasure in the things that delights in the Lord, is only going to be given to you because it aligns with the Lord, you know? Or I should say only, but that just makes it so much more worth it for the Lord to give to you because it aligns with Him, you know? It now makes things useful, and that's why we understand how the Lord is really that comfort, right? How His yoke and His burden, you know, is easy and light. Ain't nothing compared to the peace that the Lord can give you, you know, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua can give you, especially with the Most High being in control of everything, right? You knowing that He the potter and you the clay. Knowing that He can make, you know what I'm saying, things happen on the sudden. I'm going to get this. This is Isaiah 55:7. It says, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. You see, and these are things that are of darkness, things that don't hold light. It says, and let him return unto the Lord, and He will have mercy upon him. You see? So you taking the time to get yourself well equipped with that light source to where then your light is fully bright. You know, like if you have a light that's very dim, you can start seeing the shadow being casted. But the brighter that light is, the less shadow is present, right? Because that shadow is darkness. So we looking to take hold of that true light, which is, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And with you doing that, now he gives you, it's like you now, let's say you got like a flashlight, you know? The Lord gonna give you that battery that don't ever go out, or a rechargeable battery, if you will, versus just a regular battery. A regular battery, work for one moment, and then after a certain period of time, it's dead. There ain't no more juice in it. But a rechargeable battery, is something that's now able to hold that source, and that's what you get from the word, from cleaving onto the word, cleaving onto his process of proving and reproving things. The last thing I'll probably do is grab that word for reprove too. But it says, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. You see? So you are looking to being those children of light. You are looking to walk as such, right? And that walking as such is repenting and turning to him and aligning yourself with the Lord, with the Lord's word, with his standard, right? Obeying him, not just believing, but obeying him, doing the works, rehearsing the righteous acts, doing all that we can do, that you can do, but that's within your measure to be on point, stay right, looking to refrain from sinning no more as much as you're able, So, let me go back to that Ephesians 5. Yeah, so Ephesians 5 and verse 10 it says, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. You see? So, let me see if I'm going to continue reading real quick. It says, for it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever those make manifest is light. You see? So those things that are right, the things that's determined to be worthy, right? Those are things that's basically those fruits, all goodness and righteousness, But let's get that word for reprove. So that's the word for reprove.
Strong's G 1651. Elegho. Elegho.
Alejo, right? It says, to find fault with and to correct, right? Yeah, that's heavy. So you reprove of something, you looking to see what's wrong with it and look to correct it, That's that examining that word proving goes into. So with you examining to see if something's good, see if something is on point, something that aligns with the Lord. You know, you looking to do that with things, and this is you looking to see if it aligns with it or not, and if it don't, you looking to correct it. You know, that's like what it say in the law. Like you weren't supposed to suffer sin onto your brother, onto your neighbor, right? So the way that you don't suffer is by rebuking it, getting, you know what I'm saying, putting it away, ultimately correcting it, you know? Simple as that. You see, to rebuke, right? To rebuke. It says, reprimand and express sharp disapproval or criticism of someone because of their behavior or actions, right? And let's see what else they got here. To chastise. It says, chew someone's ass. You can see down here. Tear someone a new one, right? A new asshole, as it says. Let's see what else they got. Yeah, that's basically it, you know. Simply with you reproving something, you rebuking it, you know, which is you showing that this is something that's disapproved of, you know, something that's not approved. So you finding that fault because that fault was disapproved. So with you finding that, now you looking to correct it, you know. And once it's corrected, now it falls under, you know, that all goodness and righteousness and truth, right? So this all takes consideration. It takes time and effort, you know. Those are things that are needed in order for you to prove things, right? Just like you needing that power source in order to keep that light going, you know. It's like us understanding we like candles, so we gotta make sure that we are tending to our candlesticks, you know, trimming the wick, and I think that's was one of the synonyms or words under that word reproof, you know, trim. So that's pretty much it, you know. Lord willing, this has been something that could be edifying, you know, to those of you watching. So, you know, we are to be looking to making sure that we are able to prove what is acceptable to the Lord. You know, His standard is always going to stand over all things. His standard is where it's going to be manifested. His standard is going to be of that light that eliminates darkness. You know. So continue to keep doing that within yourself, within your daily lives, your day to day, right? Just how the scriptures say, you know, day by day, putting off the old man, the old conversations of the old man, right, and putting on the new one, that new man, right? Ridding yourself of the things that are evil, right, and returning unto the Lord, repenting. Now making things right, correcting, you know, what you can correct. And Lord willing that helps you to be able to be one step closer to receiving that salvation, up to the point to where you are able to receive that salvation. So With that, I'm going to give honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Wahara Kakwadash. Till next time, Shalom.